everyone, welcome back to another video from the world of EnglishExams.com. I hope all of you are preparing well for your IELTS exam, and this time I am back with another video about IELTS reading, and that is yes or no or not given. Oh my god, we have got numerous requests on our website for this question type, and yes, I am back with the video, and today I am going to explain to you in detail how to get the answers right for yes or no or not given. And basically what must be understood is the difference between true, false and not given, or yes or no or not given. Often both these question types are thought to be one and the same, and yes, I can't deny the fact, but yes, there is a subtle difference between both these question types. Before beginning with understanding the yes or no or not given question types, let's understand how many types of questions are actually there in the reading test. Okay, so as you can see, there are all these question types that are flashing on the screen right now. So the first one that is highlighted in blue is fill in the blanks, under which we have multiple categories like note completion, form completion, table completion, summary, diagram and all that. And next we have yes or no or not given, that we are going to look in today's video. And we also have true or false or not given, and then we have short answers, multiple choice and matching. So the information and the detailed descriptions with example passages which are actually solved for you are readily available on the worldofenglishexams.com. So stay tuned to our YouTube channel for the latest videos, and do check out our website www.worldofenglishexams.com for the latest information. So let's not delay and let's get into the video and understand what are some of the tips for getting the answers for yes or no or not given. Okay, so as you can see, these are some of the simple yet comprehensive tips for answering yes or no or not given. Let's start with the first one. Mark the right keywords. The keyword identification strategy that we have spoken in most of my reading videos, you can see I'm linking one of them below for you, is marking the right keywords. So keywords are the important words that signify the meaning of the question or of the statement. So we can identify various parts of speech as being important keywords, such as nouns, then verbs, articles, adjectives, prepositions and adverbs. So whenever we see these keywords, it is essential that we underline them or we mark them, we highlight them as the keywords, because they are going to signify the meaning for the statement. And yes, we are not trying to match the keywords, guys. We are trying to match the meaning. We are trying to see whether the statement that is given to us fits exactly with what's given in the passage. And yes, if the matching is 100% done, then we mark it as true or yes in this case. And if it is contradicting what is given in the statement and the passage, then we mark it as no. If the information is not available, then obviously it would be not given. So the first tip goes as marking the right keywords. Now let's move on to the second tip. Read the question very carefully. Guys, I can't stress on this more. You have to read, and not just reading, you have to scan the question. That means you need to go through each and every word of the question. We do not know which one is the game changer. So we need to highlight all the keywords, and then we should try to analyze and read the question very carefully. And the third tip is a continuation of the same, that is, understand what the question actually is. First of all, for this, you need to understand whether the given question type is yes or no or not given, or whether it is true or false or not given. I am telling you this point because most of the time students lose their marks because of the misidentification. That is, they do not read the question type properly, and instead of giving the answer as yes or no or not given, they give the answer as true or false, which is a blunder. It is considered to be incorrect and you will be losing the marks. The next tip which is also included under this is, do not write short forms. Do not write short forms of the answer. Don't give the answer as a Y or yes. So you need to give the answer as YES, and for no, do not give the answer as N. You need to give the answer as NO. Similarly, for not given, do not give the answer as NG. Write the full answer. And yes, just like in any other reading question type, we need to transfer the answers using a pencil, and it is recommended to transfer the answers in all capital letters. All capital letters. Yes, have you understood that? Now let's move on to the next tip, that is scan the passage. So once you have understood the statement properly, then move on to scanning the passage to identify the right context. And often the question types for yes or no or not given are going to follow an order, which means, let's say the answer for the first question lies in the third paragraph. It means that you need not go back to the first and the second passages for the second question. So it means that after the first question, we get the context related to the second question. So we don't need to confuse at that point of time. Next one. Phrasing the question will be an easy way to get the answers. Oh, now are you wondering what is this? Yes, now this is the novel strategy that World of English Exams brings to you. That is phrasing the question. This would identify what exactly is the meaning of the statement. So once you're very clear with that, then you're going to get the answers very quickly. Okay, so what is this phrasing and how it's done? I'm going to help you out. I'm going to teach you in detail with a passage. So stay tuned. Then, of course, the last tip, try to read the mind of the writer, because the difference between true or false or not given and yes or no or not given lies here. Remember at the start of the video I was mentioning this? Fine. So true or false or not given is identifying facts, you know, the truth. If it's a truth, it would never change. If it's a false statement, it would remain false. But here, when we are trying to judge whether the answer is a yes or no, we need to think how the writer is going to think, how the writer is assuming whether it is a fact or not while reading the context. So it is not mandatory that all the writers should have the same opinion, isn't it? Whereas truth is a truth, but yes or no are opinions, the claims of the writer. So that is the difference between true and yes. True indicates a fact, whereas yes indicates the writer's agreement for the truth. Whether the writer is completely agreeing or completely negating that, or maybe he or she is not at all discussing about that, what exactly is claimed by them, that is yes or no or not given. And that is the meaning of this tip called read the mind of the examiner. So the better you understand what the writer wants to convey, the better you can get the answers, of course accurately, right? So now, having understood the tips and the approach for that, let's understand how exactly do we approach these question types. And firstly, we will just scan the questions. We'll not look into the passage directly. We'll first read the question, read the statement, and then follow the phrasing technique. Now, are you ready to practice with me? Fine. So let's not delay further. And yes, so this is the 3-step approach that we must have for the IELTS exam. What is that? Learn, practice, improve, and the cycle goes on. So now, having stated that, let's look at what I have for you today. Yes, so as you can see, this is how the yes or no or not given must be identified. They clearly give you that yes indicates that if the statement agrees with the claim of the writer, that means the writer is agreeing to that given statement. No indicates if the statement contradicts the claims of the writer, that means the writer is disagreeing to that, he is giving another opinion. Then not given, it is impossible to say what the writer thinks about this. That means the information is either half present or completely absent. I repeat, even if we have an information that is half true, then the answer would be not given, because we do not know about the other half. So now look at the instructions once more. Do the following past statements agree with the claims of the writer? So that indicates it is yes or no or not given. So as we can see here, we have a set of 5 questions that begin from question number 32 till 36. Now let me go stepwise or statement wise, I must say, and then I'll also parallelly paste whatever is there in the context related to that, and then we will decide together how the statement is judged as being true or maybe yes or no or not given. So now let's understand how to do this. Let's look at the 32nd question. Okay, so here I have written the question again, and also as I told you, I have linked the context as well. Now let's understand this. Those words that are marked in yellow, which I've highlighted in yellow, are the key words. That means the significant words that are important for us in locating the right answers. Attitudes towards bilingualism have changed in the recent years. So what is the statement giving us? That attitudes, can you see a small slash there? So that indicates I need to phrase it. I need to break the given statement into bits and pieces in order for me to understand the question well, and that is called phrasing. That means dividing the given statement into several bits, several phrases. Now, what is it talking about? Attitudes. Okay, that is nothing but maybe behavioral patterns. Okay, then attitudes towards bilingualism have changed in the recent years, which means maybe in the olden days, in the past, people had a different opinion about bilingualism, and now they have altered. Okay, they have changed their mindset. So that's what is the statement. Now, having understood the statement properly, let's read. And when you are reading, please maintain a steady pace. Do not read fast, because once you start reading fast, what happens is either you will not understand the statement properly, the given context, or you won't be able to gauge whether the answer is a yes or a no, or maybe a not given. So first, let's identify the context where we talk about something that happened during the recent years and something that is connected to attitudes and bilingualism, because these are our keywords. Come on. According to the latest figures, so the latest figures is showing that something is related to a recent development. Okay, so that leads us to the answer. According to the latest figures, the majority of the world's population is now bilingual or multilingual. Okay, it's not talking about attitudes, but it is telling that the majority of the population in the world are bilinguals. That means they know more than one languages. Okay, so having grown up speaking 2 or more languages, that is the definition of multilingualism or bilingualism. Okay, so in the past, so now it's talking about something that happened in the past. In the past, such children meaning children who were bilingual, were considered to be at a disadvantage compared to their monolingual peers. So which means in comparison with the peers or with the colleagues, with the other children, these children who could speak 2 languages were considered to be disadvantageous. The behavior was not so in accordance with that. Over the past few decades, again we are coming back to the question, over the past few decades, which means recent years. However, the technological advances have allowed researchers to look more deeply at how bilingualism interacts with and changes the cognitive and neurological systems. So now the scientists or the researchers have identified that bilingualism is interacting and changing the neurological system. That means it's interacting with the brain, and thereby identifying clear benefits of being bilingual. And we have seen earlier that they were treating it as a disadvantage. However, now over the past few decades, they found that it is actually advantageous, or it has a lot of clear benefits. So now it's showing that the transition or the change has clearly occurred. So the writer is trying to convey through this statement that yes, the attitude towards bilingualism has changed in the recent years. Hence the answer is yes, because the statement given is Completely 100% agreeing with the claims of the writer. I hope you understand what I mean to say by phrasing, and see if we mark the right keywords we can find the right answers. Now let's move on to the next statement. Bilingual people, that means people who can speak two languages, are better than monolingual people. Oh, that means the statement is comparing bilinguals with monolinguals. That means the people who can only speak one language at guessing correctly. That means the bilingual people are able to guess correctly, that they are able to predict something properly. What is that regarding? What words are before they are finished, or before even finishing the word they are able to predict that, they are able to guess that. So this ability of guessing the words is more, it's better with bilingual people when compared to the monolinguals. So that's what the statement means. Now let's understand and compare the text. Long before the word is finished, clearly we can see that the same phrase is repeated. Long before the word is finished, the brain's language system, so the brain's language system, here they are not giving whether it is the brain of the bilinguals or the monolinguals. It's generally telling that the brain's language system, the ability of the brain, begins to guess the word. And again after this one more line they are telling that for bilingual people this activation is not limited to a single language. That means their brain is capable of doing this process for multiple languages. That's why they are bilinguals. That's why they can speak more than one language. Now here, is it connecting the ability of bilinguals as being better than monolinguals? No, it's not making a comparison. It's just telling that the brain's language system begins to guess. But whose brain, whether it is bilingual's brain or monolingual's brain, that is not given. Hence, the answer is not given. So this is how you identify the difference between no and not given. If it is a no, then in the context the discussion would be done, but it would be in the opposite sense. Something like, monolinguals are better than bilinguals, something like that. If it is given along those lines, then the answer would be no. But here there is no comparison at all. Hence the context is not given as per the question. Now let's move on to the next statement. Bilingual people consistently name images. Okay, so bilingual people are able to consistently, that is continuously, name images, okay, nothing but pictures, faster than. Again, the moment you see the word than, it indicates that there is a comparison. Faster than monolingual people. Again, they are comparing one more ability of bilinguals with monolinguals. What is that? Bilinguals can name the pictures. So if I present them certain images, certain pictures, they are able to name them faster at a rapid speed when compared to the monolinguals. That means monolinguals are a bit slower in comparison to the bilinguals at naming images. So that is what is the question. Now let's go to the text. For instance, knowing more than one language, of course that indicates bilingual, can cause speakers to name pictures. Pictures is nothing but images. Again, the word name is directly taken. More slowly. So as you can clearly see, the context and the statement are opposing each other. In the statement it is given that they can name images faster, whereas here it is telling that they can name pictures more slowly. So that means here fast and slow are antonyms, opposites. Hence the answer for this statement would be no, because the context is given but it is contradicting the view that is presented in the passage. I hope by now you got a clarity of how to answer yes, no and not given. But yes, I would be helping you with the rest of the two questions, and then I will be giving you a passage to solve on your own along with a set time. Okay, now let's move on to the next statement. Bilingual people's brain, okay, bilingual people's brains, okay, the brains of the bilinguals process single sounds more effectively than monolingual people in all situations. Again, this is a comparison. So what are they comparing now? The brains of the bilinguals can process single sounds, which means smaller sounds more efficiently than monolinguals. So whose capability to process sounds is better, whether it is monolinguals or bilinguals? Now let's read the context. When monolingual and bilingual adolescents, that is people, listen to simple speech sounds. Simple speech is nothing but single sounds without any intervening background noise, then what happens? They show highly similar brain stem responses. That means it's not a comparison. It is clearly showing that whether the person is speaking one language or more than one language, that is whether he or she is a bilingual or a monolingual, there is no change, absolutely no change in the way the brain stem responses occur. So here in the question, in the statement, they are telling that bilinguals process the single sounds more efficiently. That means at a higher level of efficiency. But here in the statement, what is given? It is at a similar level. That means same level. No one is higher, no one is lower. So hence again the statement is showing something that is not agreeing with that given in the passage, and that's the reason the answer would be no. Is it clear? Okay, fine. Now let's move on to the last statement. Okay, fewer bilingual people. Again, it's talking about a proportion. Fewer bilinguals. That means a lesser number of bilingual people than monolingual. Again, there's a comparison. In comparison with the monolinguals, fewer bilingual people suffer from brain diseases. That means if the person speaks more than one language, then the chances of suffering from a brain disease during old age is lesser. So now that is what is the statement, and now let's read it. Older bilinguals enjoy improved memory relative to monolinguals. That means their memory power is high. They are not talking about any diseases and any old age. Okay. So in a study of over 200 patients with Alzheimer's disease, and Alzheimer's disease, which is a degenerative brain disease. Now they are coming to the context of diseases. Okay, so what happened when they studied over 200 patients with Alzheimer's? Bilingual patients reported showing initial symptoms of the disease an average of 5 years later than monolinguals. That means, let's say a monolingual patient is showing the symptoms at the age of 65, then bilingual is able to show it at 70 years. That means at a later period. Now here it is not talking about the proportion, whether it is fewer or relatively higher or nothing like that. Now let's understand, let's continue. Researchers compared the brains of bilingual and monolingual patients matched on a severity of the Alzheimer's symptoms. Surprisingly, the bilinguals' brains had more physical signs of a disease than monolingual. So they have told that the brains had more physical signs. It's not talking about whether how many bilingual people are having the chances of disease when compared to monolinguals. Hence, since there is no comparative study done, we are going to mark the answer as not given. Not given. So have you understood how to get the answers right? Okay, so this paragraph is sourced from the 12th book, Cambridge 12, the academic version. And now I would like you to try solving such question types. Now that you have understood the technique, now that you are ready to answer the questions, let's start doing it. And yes, you can drop your comments in the comment section, and we will be very happy to see and look at how many answers you got it right within the stipulated time frame, because we know time plays a crucial role here. So we should not waste more than 1 minute ideally to answer the question, but let's see how you guys do it. Okay, so now this is the passage that I want to give you here. Again, it is a yes or no or not given identification, and you have 4 questions, and if you just scroll the text, you will find it. You will find the text here, and yes, you need to answer the 4 questions, and the time for reading the question along with getting the answers right, you can just move forward and backward in order to do this, and I would be giving you 6 minutes to do this, because we have 4 questions, and you, now that you're doing it for the first time, you need to read the mind of the writer, Keeping all these factors in mind, I would be giving you exactly 6 minutes to solve this. Okay, and your time starts now. You have 5 minutes to go. Three minutes more. Okay, 2 minutes to go. Fine, last 1 minute. Yes. So that should be the end of the time. I hope you have answered the questions correctly, but let me give you the answers so that you can check. Yes, so these are the answers, and again this paper is sourced from Cambridge 12, the academic version, and I hope you got the technique right. And please do comment how you like the video, and if at all you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. Do share it with your friends so that even they can watch the video and derive the benefit and they can answer the questions. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe to our channel worldoфenglishexams.com. We keep posting videos regularly, and do ring the bell icon if you wish to get the notifications immediately as and when we post a new video on our website and our YouTube channel. So till the next time, till I see you with the videos, let's end the session today, and I hope you have a great time watching the videos and preparing. Happy preparation, guys, and bye. Take care till I see you the next time. Thank you.